decided to raid Kofi Annan's wardrobe.
I've already started workshopping decaf Annan, something like that.
What's that?
Decaf Annan, man, he looks like a really budget version of Kofi Annan right now.
Low budget.
Dude, Mike looks like he went to the costume store and said, "Hey, do you have Eddie Murphy in, Coming to America? Can you do that for me?"
Mike is like, you know what? I want to represent my Ghanaian heritage, but I also feel like a black Bruce Lee. So let me put a bandana all over my head.
Yeah, the combination of headband and it didn't work.
Mike was watching clips of Francis Ngannou, and he didn't even get inspired to train. He's just like, I want to dress like Francis Ngannou on weigh-in days, and this is the result.
Now that I'm looking at it, the shirt, kind of looks Native American. More than African.
Mike, that's the wrong tribe, bro. That's the wrong tribe, okay?
I'm doing it because I feel like it, all right? I woke up in the morning, I saw this shirt, and I was like, you know what?
I feel like Eddie Murphy today.
I'm going to wear it, okay? I'm going to represent my culture, okay? And then after I picked Jeremy's out because it was a little bigger and it's kind of scratchy. So it's more comfortable.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wear it. That's my shirt. I wear it and...
Wait, so hold on. Not only did he raid Kofi Annan's wardrobe, he also raided Jeremy's wardrobe. What is this?
Yeah, but like Will Smith and Men in Black, I make it look good.
Okay then.
Let's move on, guys. This just got weird. How did we do like an hour?
We introduced our podcast yet, though?
Jeremy, like Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness. That joke was freaking sad, man.
We spoke for an hour before this podcast, and not once did it come up that is actually Jeremy's shirt. That would have made the conversation so much funnier.
Yeah, it's weird. But he's biting my style on the headbands too for the fans out there. So just so you know,
that is incorrect.
You know what's weirder?
Biting my style.
Hey, you think that's the only thing of Jeremy's that Mike's wearing? Check his underwear.
Jeez.
Always got to take it down.
Always
got to take it down. Always got to take it down Suspect Street,
Stand up, pull down your pants, and
always got to take it down Suspect Street, bro. We're going down Main Street, and you want to bust a left on Suspect Street.
Listen, pull down your pants and prove that you're not wearing Jeremy's underwear. Do it. That's what I thought. I rest my case. He's wearing Jeremy's underwear. They're perverts.
Welcome to the Leg Kick Podcast. You know, the MMA podcast.
Oh yeah.
I'm your host, Michael Asiffo.
What's MMA? Michael Asiffo? What does that
mean? Michael Motorcycle Asiffo.
Michael Melanin Asiffo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Melanin Mike. Let's go. We're the Leg Kick Podcast, bringing you the best. Oh yeah, we take it over. Want to see the attitude? We are the best podcast in MMA. If you haven't seen us up to this point, we just did an interview with Czech Congo, which is it's sumptuous. It's sensual. It's sumptuous. Mr. Congo graced us with his presence. It's a beautiful interview. Go and check it out. We got an interview with Shoni Carter. Yeah. We're taking over. We want to see the attitude.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and I sing that song because we've got a discount Akon sitting across from
us. Yes, that's exactly.
So yeah, guys, we're here after the Irene Aldana Holly Holm fight, which was a.
And you guys also did an interview with Wonder Girl, right?
Yeah, that Wonder Girl.
Oh, executive
Justin
decision.
Conde, Eric Wilson.
Yeah.
Wait, has that one come out yet? Oh.
Yeah, we haven't.
Did I accidentally let something out?
Did you?
No.
Did I let something out the bag?
No. We already kind of announced that Wonder Girl's coming out.
All right.
But honestly, executive decision. When are we releasing that?
Yes, while we're recording.
I think next week is probably the
staff meeting right here on live.
Yeah.
We only call it staff meeting because David has come down with a terrible staph infection. That's why he's not in the room with us.
Hilarious.
We don't want him to infect us. David.
That's true.
Take some antibiotics, bro. He doesn't believe in antibiotics. He's listening to Dr. Hopi, something like that. Dr. Omar, some he's a medicine man. He told David to treat it with peppermints. David's going to treat his wound with peppermints instead of taking antibiotics.
Stefano's coming in firing today.
Guns blazing, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this what it must feel like? You know when you're in the NBA and
this podcast, get at me. Let's go.
Man, I like it, man. This is what it must feel like. You know when like the shooter on your like basketball team just like starts going off, just starts like chucking threes and just starts nailing it. Man, Stefano, I like it. Let's go.
Actually, if this was the Chicago Bulls, Stefano fits the bill perfectly for Steve Kerr.
Hey, when David said shooter, because I'm like vaguely white, when David said shooter, I thought he was going to make a school shooter joke. But I appreciate the basketball reference. Nobody's ever told me I could play basketball in my life competently. Although I nearly beat Mike in a game of Around the World, he would have honestly.
I remember that Around the World game going completely different.
Mike was crying. He was tearing up. He finally beat me by like a margin at the end, which doesn't say much because of basketball.
That's pretty funny.
I'm feces.
March trash.
If I beat you, hold on, dude. Well, I beat you where it counts. Let's be honest. On the mats. Let's be fair. Basketball, we're going to throw the old pigskin into the peach basket. Like Darian Caldwell said, bruh, you're mean mugging each other. You're about to go throw a ball in the basket. Okay?
Darian Caldwell's an idiot.
Darian Caldwell's my boy, okay?
He's an idiot.
Oh, is he now? Darian Caldwell, you're still welcome on the podcast.
He is welcome on the podcast.
We love you.
He is welcome on the podcast. But
Mike and Jeremy and David will admit that basketball is an inferior sport, unworthy of our consideration.
Nobody's admitting such a thing.
That's why they make millions and millions of dollars.
That's why Justin Bieber is the best music artist in the world, right? Because he makes millions and millions.
Justin Bieber, I actually like Justin Bieber's music lately, to be honest. I kind of like it.
Yeah, no, he's making some quality shit.
Like that whole baby. No, get that garbage out of here. But his new stuff is good. Can we talk about some fights instead of talking about your boyfriend, please?
Yeah. We gotta talk some news though.
Yeah. Should we? Oh yeah. Let's dig into that and then the fights.
Okay. So opening story: Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa. So Israel Adesanya released a DM of some sort between him and Paulo.
Hold on. Czech Congo mentioned us in their story.
Oh, Congo for real.
Congo for real added us to the story.
Perfect gentleman.
Woo, what a gent. That guy's a great dude.
Yeah, I have to say this.
Czech, if you're listening, we love you.
I have to say this one. Legitimately great human being. Gave us all the time in the world. He said till 4:30 and he stayed till 5. That's the kind of quality of human.
He was like, "Yeah, it's okay. My trading partners are kind of late. I'll talk to you guys. Whatever."
Yeah. So
candid, went off on every single topic we asked him. Just did his best to accommodate us and our needs. He called Ryan Bader some unsavory words. Called him a pussy. He's like, Ryan Bader, you are a pussy. You are straight up pussy, and next time I will knock you out. Why'd you have to say it so much? I have to beep that out.
Yeah.
You have to bleep. Ryan Bader, you are a female cat. Okay, listen.
Okay, so do you guys want to talk about this Adesanya and Costa?
Yeah, no, I found it interesting because it's another case of what's it called? Guy said, he said, she said, and then finding out what actually happened on DM. Last week it was Conor McGregor. This time it's Israel Adesanya, because Paulo Costa has been releasing video upon video of him saying, I want a rematch with Adesanya. Last time was a fluke. This, and that. I was injured. And Israel Adesanya then proceeds to just lay waste and make Paulo Costa look as humbled as possible, right? With a release of DMs with a long caption. I'll read the caption and I'll read the DM. And finally I get to use the what do you call it? The screen cam. We're gonna call our screen cam.
Oh, are we gonna do a reading? Are we gonna do another reading?
Do you want to do another reading?
Yeah, I'll be Adesanya or Paulo Costa.
All right, I'll be Adesanya.
Okay, that only makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's gonna accuse me of black voice. I don't know if that's a thing, but
I think actually it is.
Black voice, yeah.
Wait, but now you're going to be accused of Brazilian voice. So
yeah, but listen, Brazilians are Portuguese. Okay, I'm Italian. Okay.
That's true.
We're on the same continent. It's okay. We're close. It's like if you guys imitated, a Congolese gentleman. No one's gonna be like, hey, that's racist. If I imitate Portuguese accent, we're both Latin speakers. We're good. We're cool. We've chilled. The Brazilians and the Italians.
All right. Okay. Let's get into these tweets then.
All right. Here's the Instagram post. I apologize for that weird look, and I apologize for David in the side here.
We apologize for having to show you David.
Yeah. Okay. So.
All right. Read the caption. Let's
read the caption. All right. I'm gonna.
Here, I'll read the caption.
All right.
Wait.
Sounds. No.
You gotta do
the Adesanya voice. You gotta do it in.
I'm a fighter.
Yeah. You gotta be like.
No, I'm not. I can't. I've won 30. I've done 100 fights. That's all I know how to say. Okay.
Sounds like excuses from me.
All right, you got it.
LOL. I tried to be nice, low key, in case he was suicidal. Paulo, you haven't accepted the fact that you got schooled by a skinny guy you kept trying to pick on. Now I'm a bully, but at least I'm nice. Your fragile ego couldn't fathom how this skinny clown was able to beat you so easily. Humble yourself and learn this so you might learn to grow as a person. Train all you want. You'll never, ever beat me. I mind my own because you'll be obsessed with me forever like my ex. Say all you want about me. Doesn't matter. Still get smashed.
Eggplant emoji.
All right. Are we
Start from the beginning. Start from the top. Is that the top? Or go left?
Yeah, that's literally the top.
Are you sure? Are you sure there's no more?
That's the
But
that
there's
that
a
was
left
all
arrow.
he-
There's a left arrow. There's a left arrow.
That was Paulo Costa's video.
Oh, there's a video where he's like, you beat me for the fourth time, okay? Fourth time. I'm coming. I don't want to be friends with you. I want to kill you, Adesanya. I want to kill you. Boa caralho. Boa caralho literally means male ejaculates, male phallus.
Oh,
So take that in.
so he called him a penis.
Well,
That was pretty good.
Boa means male ejaculate, right?
As far as impressions
So like
go,
when fighters after a fight are like, boy, what they're really like, they're like, semen. I always found that funny. Brazilian fighters do that all the time. No,
It is true. That is a thing.
They all yell poha. It's like saying the F word in our language, but it literally means semen.
Okay. So it's like,
was that it?
all right. So read
I'll
it.
start from the
Oh,
top.
okay.
Smiley face, poha.
You should. It'll help you with your footwork.
Yes, maybe poha, caralho.
Why we do this? Why we do it? Work. Well, hope your leg is okay.
Your accent's terrible.
I know, but it's fine. But next time, be more respectful, and I'll be respectful back. You were an asshole, so I now have to get back at you to make a point. Thanks for the fight. Keep working. Maybe a few
Michael,
fights.
you sound
sound like Idris Elba.
No, man, he sounds like one of those dubbed Japanese movies for some reason. And you're imitating like a New Zealand guy, like a Kiwi guy.
Hey man,
A black guy. Just be yourself, Michael.
All right. Who cares?
Moving on. Mike's accents are terrible.
No,
he
but
does
anyway,
not have a future as a white actor.
Yeah.
Go on. Let's see.
No, I just wanted to. No, that was it. Okay.
That's it. That's the whole DM.
That was the whole DM. But the whole thing is that it was interesting how like he, because
That's all. I was expecting more. I was expecting like phallus pictures and like,
I can. There was a lot more video, but the whole point that was made was that a lot of people were getting on Israel Adesanya's back for being a bully. Not really a bully here. He was giving them some advice.
No, he's your bully's bully.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, a bully. These are professional fighters, okay? What are these weird narratives we're inserting into this? He's a bully,
Yeah. Well, I don't want to spend as much time as we did.
It's true. People are offended by some rude gestures and some mean words. Like, these guys are literally giving each other brain trauma in front of you, and that's what you're offended by?
I know for sure.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I also wanted just a general comment. I feel like as the sport has gotten more popular, obviously you have a lot more people who have never like trained who are fans and stuff. I just feel like, I don't know, the sensationalism of it has made it so like people are forgetting the fact that people are risking their lives every time they step in that octagon.
Hell yeah.
I think like people are just like, he got knocked out, blah blah blah, and really, and I get that's part of like the fun of it, but yeah, I think like that's getting lost on a lot of people. So
it's the dance of death. It's the dance of death we do. Really
Cool.
is. Moving along. Are we gonna get into some fight matchup announcements? I can take.
Yeah, get into the fight matchup announcements, but I also want to get Jeremy, our boxing correspondent, in there because there was a relatively
a big boxing fight over the weekend.
not big, but it was relatively.
What was it? I actually
it was an
don't
important
know.
fight.
Okay, never mind.
For the future
Never
of
mind.
the division.
No, there wasn't. I didn't see anything that moved the deal, but I mean, I didn't really pay attention.
Wasn't Pedraza fighting? No.
Oh yeah, he fought.
Hold on, I'm being.
Fought
He fought. I haven't.
Stefano, hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Stefano, we're in
I
the
haven't
whole
even.
conversation.
I haven't even heard of the guy that he fought last night. So it was like, yeah, Jose Pedraza fought, but it's like, for what? To stay in the same place that you are. Like, I don't think he got ranked any better or worse for fighting a guy.
Fair enough. All right, and that was our boxing correspondent, Jeremy Asiffo.
Yeah, sorry guys. No, but like I think isn't the Telefimo? Yo, bro, if you don't turn off his mic, Okay,
I'm done.
No, you're done. You're done.
Literally whispering in the middle
I
of.
will not be defeated. Turn back on my mic, damn it. I'm kidding. I'm good. Okay, I'm good. I'll behave.
I can't even concentrate.
Go.
Bro, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, Telefimo Lopez versus God. Oh jeez. Telefimo versus Vasil Lomachenko.
Teofimo Lopez versus Vasil Lomachenko.
It's coming up soon, I think.
Oh,
I just have to see. But we'll keep your eye out for that one. That's going to be a big one.
This is the least hyped up Lomachenko fight I've seen in a while, though.
Really?
I haven't
This
seen
one seems
anything.
pretty big.
I haven't seen anything. No posters. No, nothing. Nothing. I've seen nothing. Maybe that's just because I'm in the world of MMA, but yeah, I've seen Jack Squat. Has anybody else seen anything? Like
No, I've heard a few. I've heard Luke Thomas talk about it. That's about it.
Yeah. David, you heard anything?
But maybe because he's a big favorite. That's why.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
He's sick.
Fight announcements?
Fight announcements. Over to our fight announcement correspondent, Stefano.
So, I don't know what that was. That was my sound effect for myself. First of all, first thing, John Jones and Israel Adesanya getting into some saber rattling on Insta. I don't care.
Woo!
No one cares.
I cared a lot. I was
Sign the bout.
Nobody
Will you
cares.
sign the bout agreement? I don't want to cares. David, what were you going to say?
Literally, I am so with you. Nobody cares, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so done with it. I get it. You need to do this to build a fight, but like, come on, man. It's just so boring.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
David kills me.
There's only one big fight announcement we have to deal with, and depending on how you look at this, you may or may not be excited for it. So remember how we were all a little bit upset about Cody Garbrandt getting the title shot? Well, he's out.
No, I wasn't upset.
So a lot of people were upset because of he didn't deserve it. He never won a fight in the division, and he was like, one and
Coming off 2 losses and
well, he won a fight. He won a fight, but before
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, he had just won a fight, but before that, yeah.
So it's like, I was a fan of it strategically because I made the case that
you need to get asses in the seats.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
So what the UFC should do, which I think what they were gunning for, you get an interesting name in there in Cody Garbrandt. If he loses, Figueiredo gets that stink behind him from Garbrandt. If he wins, if Garbrandt wins, you have a notable flyweight champion. In the meantime, you can build up some legitimate catch. So who's actually getting the shot is Alex Perez, who I'm a big fan of Perez. I don't know if you've seen him, but excellent calf kicker. Only loss came to Joseph Benavidez, and he's been on a tear since then. He's a monstrous fighter. Throws a mean right cross, and I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited for not as much name value behind it, but if they market it the right way, I don't see how the UFC can't make bank off this because this fight's going to be fireworks. It's going to be wild. That's the. Huh? What?
Make bank off this?
Yeah, why not? It's a good flyweight title fight. Look, here's how I figure, okay? You put this on as maybe like a co-main, right? On a big pay-per-view card.
Okay.
This fight is going to be absolute fireworks. Like both of they're bangers, both of these guys. They're bangers.
I love the way David Figueiredo fights.
I love it. It's wild. It makes no sense. He'll just Jack Slack did a little breakdown on him. He spams a technique for like 10 seconds, and then he's okay, on to the next one.
in the one division where that's so ill advised, he does it with regularity.
Yeah. He'll be like, I like knees now. I'm gonna throw 10 knees in a row. Oops, I got cracked. Okay, what's next? He's just an absolute wild man. And Perez is always a fun fight. So this is a good. I misspoke. Maybe not make bank, but this is a good fight to get some.
It's an opportunity to get the flyweight division off the ground.
Exactly. Get some eyes on the flyweight division that the UFC has been tepid on at best. So
well, if they make it third from the top, I don't see why. Like third from the top of let's say Usman Burns, right? Why not? Right?
Sure.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it being like third from the top. Even like a co-main, I could see. I'm not saying it's not a fun fight to watch necessarily, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of casuals you're going to be watching personally. But who cares, right? It's about these guys. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way, just one more piece of news I forgot. Time to hurt all of your hearts, and especially David. David, you ready for this?
Let's hear it.
Kamaru Usman's a Trump supporter. He was at a Trump rally, and Donald Trump
told
praised him.
you from time. First of all,
he was a Trump supporter?
No, yes. I knew it. I booked it. And even the way he responded to Colby, I booked it because he said the only reason you're not at that you were called to that conference or whatever is because I wasn't unavailable or something. That's fair. And also, if you know anything about Nigerians, you know that there's so many right-wing Nigerians. So I'm not
really. Oh yeah, it's a thing. I'm surprised.
I didn't know. I mean, I'm not exactly like.
It's a
my only Nigerian friend is David that I'm aware of.
Hilarious. And then what was I going to say? Also, if you, not to accuse Kamaru of anything, but if you know his backstory, his dad's in jail, I think, and he's trying to fight the case. I think it was like a federal case to do with like money laundering or something like that, or fraud or something. So. I don't know the details.
What does that have to do with supporting Trump?
How did you find out that he was a Trump supporter?
How did I find out?
Yeah, how did you find?
It's on the news.
As
Trump,
of late.
Donald Trump was like,
well, listen, I'm actually a big fan of Kamaru Usman. Okay, I hope that he does well. I'll be watching his upcoming performances. Okay.
Donald Trump is a fan of anybody who likes him. And that's why it matters. That's why it matters.
Yeah, but that's Republicans and that's Republicans in general. They're so desperate for any celebrity shine
because from like Texas, right?
Nobody in Hollywood likes Republicans except for like Clint Eastwood.
He's from like Texas. Like he never really comes out and says anything. Like I get it. Shouts out to him, I guess. But also, come on, man. They don't care about you, bro. They don't care about you.
Don't take this the wrong way, but like. Black Republicans always made me laugh. It's like, really? This is the most racist party in the world, but okay.
It's not
the most racist political party in North America.
Everybody's allowed to believe what they want, you know?
Exactly. I agree. I'm not saying,
everyone is allowed to believe what they want. And especially
I just find it funny.
I find it funny and hilarious that you would, champion a person who literally called your country like a piece of shit. So...
guys, I gotta edit this out.
No, he said it on the news. It's fine.
Are we live?
Yes.
Are we live? Like we're live on air?
Of course. Oh no, not on air.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna create a bunch of more work for you now, Mike. Fuck.
I can just timestamp.
It'd be meaner if I just intersperse them throughout the podcast, just to like.
Much meaner.
It's okay. I'll edit it.
And you just like whispered it and made like Jeremy's voice. Like that would be hilarious.
Voice of it in Jeremy's voice.
Okay. All right. What else?
That's not my voice.
That's exactly your voice.
Is that all our announcement? No more fights announcement?
Right. Sorry. Okay, this is turning into a disaster. Holm versus Aldana. Okay, that's it. Holm versus Aldana. We're done.
Guys, what a great example of how you can have. Wow, what does that look for?
You know what?
No, what does that look for, bro? No.
You shot him a look.
Aldana. What does that look for, bro? No.
I'm very disappointed in you guys' behavior.
We'll do it live. Okay, listen. Holm versus Aldana. What an absolute masterclass in using 4 or 5 sequences, techniques, combinations, whatever you want to call them, to just dominate a fight. Largely what I saw from Holly Holm, a lot of it was classic Holly Holm, where she circled to the open side towards Aldana's right hand, which is inadvisable against in orthodox matchup, right? Because you're giving up the lead position. So she'd circle to that side and then either bait out the right hand or stop and cross, uppercut, cross. And in the later rounds, she was throwing that body kick right underneath it. Beautiful. When Aldana got too close, it was a side kick to the body. Just a gorgeous performance. Mixed in some wrestling. That was a nice addition to her game. Got some top control. And Aldana's corner, man.
They suck.
Find a new camp.
I gotta say this. They sucked last night. Oh my god!
You're gonna get her killed.
You have a fighter that's doing the same, Holm like This is not against a knock against Holm.
She did what she was supposed to do.
Exactly. If you're keeping it simple and it's working, stick to what works and exploit the crap out of it, right? But Aldana's corner, she's down 3 rounds. I could have given her better advice. I could have been like, look, fake in with the hands, kick the inside leg when she circles. Done. Something to give her. Something. They're like, you're down 3 rounds. You need to go. I need to go? Go where? Go do what?
You know what though? In all fairness,
you need to go.
In all fairness though, like they were speaking a different language. We didn't know exactly like they were translating it, so they might have left out a few things.
Okay,
like,
dude, but
that's why I did it. That's why I wasn't so quick to jump to conclusions. But I thought the same thing. Like, because just based on the performance, you're right. Just based on the performance, she did the same thing every single round, and they just kept going, and she just kept, and Holly Holm just kept inviting her into the lion's den and picking her apart. Like,
you know what was weird too
excellent.
about that? You know what was weird about that match though? Like, I would have said, so Irene Aldana, debated out of the left hand, but what was also interesting is Irene Aldana kept circling to the right as she was being kind of led into bait the right hand. So not only is that right hand missing, she's also going into Holly Holm's power side.
Yeah.
And
Holm was luring her there. But here's the thing. It was like, have you guys never watched tape on Holly Holm? Has your camp? It's like she got in there and she had no idea what she was expecting. Like, I said it before. I'm like, Holly Holm is a fighter that's weird enough that even when she's well past her prime, she's going to be able to present kind of like a really good litmus test for contenders, right? But like, it's like she went in there and had no idea what kind of fighter she was preparing for, just plodding forward into range. She looked lost out there. Like, Irene, she's got some talent, but like, what the hell are you doing at this camp? I don't get it. I don't understand.
It was probably the least competitive fight of the night in the main card, at least.
What? Oh, on the main card. Yeah, I was thinking the one with
card.
the Mongolian gentleman who took a hellacious beating against.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and one thing I liked about Holm though is in the later rounds, she looked aggressive, and she's been a fighter who's been known to lay back. In the later rounds, she pressed her advantage. She was landing combinations, moving forward, pressed Aldana up against the fence.
Because she was feeling confident.
Yeah, man.
But did you guys notice there was like a moment in the 5th round where Aldana actually, like, she kind of tried something different and started piecing up Holly Holm a little bit, like, more. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Well,
I kind of.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I prompt that question to say, like, what do you think she could have done different? You kind of touched on it a little bit, but what do you think she could have done differently to, I don't know, win?
Well, I think the thing about Aldana was that whenever she started to figure out the timing of Holm, that's when Holm took her down. And in the 5th round, I think Holm was just having a little more trouble with that than usually.
Although you're right, she did have moments of success, but she looked great in the 5th round too. Holm.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Aldana was fit. That's the crazy thing in all of this is that just by virtue of like, what's the word? Of in-fight kind of mental instincts, she was starting to figure out and starting to do some things. And you saw it in every round towards the end, she was kind of starting to figure it out. But whenever she did, Holm would start grappling her.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it would throw the timing off a bit.
She'd shoot that double leg, circle around to the body lock, and then the strength advantage is something else I saw in this fight. Like, normally in that body lock position, when you pull someone to the ground, you're going to end up, if someone has the overhook, right, you got the underhook, they got the overhook, you're going to end up both of you face down. But Holm just ragdolled her to the ground. But yeah, to Jeremy's point, man, like, if you're fighting a fighter like Holm, you can't chase. You can't chase them around the octagon. That's what they want.
Same thing, yeah.
You got to hang back a little bit. You got to pick your spots for when you blitz and surprise them. And the last thing to leave range is the leg. You've got to kick that leg as they're circling. And once you start kicking that leg, then you slow down the movement, or at least they have to pick the leg up and defend it. If they pick it up and defend it, then you can enter in with the hands. But like, you can't just follow them around the octagon. They're going to stop, redirect, and boom, hit you. And that's it.
Why wasn't she able to cut off Holly Holm, like cut off her angles and stuff and her escape?
She was following her. You got to. She was like moving where Holly Holm is. You got to move where she's going to be. You have to go here, and then Holm probably would have switched directions. But like, Holm's got great defensive footwork.
Yeah, like that at least would have changed Holly Holm's pace, right? Changed her direction.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's where a lot of people, like Valentina did this really well right off of the Miesha Tate fight, where Holm obviously gets that Miesha Tate gets that 5th round miracle. They give her Valentina Shevchenko, right? And Valentina Shevchenko obviously at this point is not, Queen of Earth. And my MMA crush. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, you're one of those Valentina fanboys, eh?
Yeah, no, skillfully, of course, skillfully. I like her style. I think her style is the way it's what Tyron Woodley should do now in his career, right? I think that, yeah.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's what Tyron Woodley should do. But anyway, besides the point. So they gave her Valentina Shevchenko, right? And what Valentina Shevchenko did was, yeah, she hanged back, but what she also did was she won the outside foot battle, right? She would, take 2 steps back, beat her to the outside foot, and it frustrated Holm a little bit. And Valentina's obviously got that trademark check left hook. Check, left hook, just under.
Is it check left? Is she not a southpaw?
That's what I'm trying to explain. Like, I think she's a southpaw, so it was a check right. Right
hook, yeah.
Right. So she would just hang back, check right hook, beat her to the outside. Right. So Holly Holm wanted to get to the outside of Valentina Shevchenko's right hand. Valentina would just beat her. And it was just like a step-by-step process where she'd beat her with the feet. And, little Valentina Shevchenko beat big Holly Holm just by virtue of being the feet battle.
Oh, it's crazy to think about Valentino now fights at 125, was able to beat Holly Holm, who was able to out-muscle Cyborg for long portions of their fight.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, it's interesting. But, yeah, I think we've spent a lot of time on like the technical aspects of this fight, unless David wants to cut in with something that he knows.
That'd be there.
Nope, nothing. Did not watch this one. Shout out to Holly Holm.
You didn't watch the main event?
Pardon?
You didn't watch the main event? David, I may have
I didn't watch the entire main card. No, forget the main event. I didn't watch the entire main card.
David, I may have come unreasonably late, but at least you're like the kid in school who you're on time, but you didn't do the project. You didn't read.
I show up at like 8 a.m. and haven't done any homework. Just don't have my bag, don't have my pencils, don't have anything. Yeah.
You're busy in the corner eating paste. What's going on here?
What you want me to say, man? What you want me to say?
David, I respect the honesty.
Oh, hold on. There was.
You had one job. Hey,
David, I mess with it, man. Honestly, bro.
All right, my bad. I remember them saying something along those lines. I put them out to dry forgetting. That's on me. It is
what it is.
I feel so bad.
What it is.
I feel so bad. This podcast is going to be easily one of our worst after one of our best. Like, okay, who does Holm face? Because
I was watching this episode after he was really there. Like, what is this utter?
We keep swearing. I have to beep this out.
What are we
doing?
Hey, Mike, I'm sorry.
Honestly, let's just bury this episode. I'm joking. My thing was, where does Holly Holm go from here? Because Irene Aldana, this was kind of supposed to be her shot. Holly Holm's supposed to be the gatekeeper, from what I understand. But now that she's lost that fight, where does Holly Holm go from here? Because Irene Aldana will eventually get a title shot. I feel like if she'd won this shot, if she'd won this fight, she might have even been considered as next up.
She's not gonna do it facing Holly Holm.
Yeah.
Unless she gets a new camp.
Here's the thing. I think Holly Holm could actually be champion, and here's why. Amanda Nunes isn't going to be around for much longer. She said this. She said she wants to raise her family. She wants to call it quits after a couple of fights. So we could honestly be looking at. I don't think there's many people in that division that could beat Holly Holm. Even the 145 division, if Holm chooses to go up there.
Yeah, because she
no Cyborg, no Amanda Nunes. I mean, she could get that make-believe strap at 145.
Why do you gotta do that?
Okay.
Wait, hold on. How many women's fighters are there at 145?
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying.
Make-believe.
Come on, you don't have to do that, man. Felicia Spencer fights at that division. Come on, be nice.
Don't make me say it. You mean Felicia?
No, but
Felicia Spencer.
But Aldana,
we love Felicia Spencer here on the leg kick. Fellow Canadian.
We love you. We'd love to have you
we
on.
love you, Felicia.
Listen, don't do that because I've said the joke.
But Aldana,
they're slow, and then there's Felicia Spencer.
But Aldana,
there's slow molasses and Felicia Spencer.
But Aldana, she could actually beat Holly Holmes. If she gets a new camp, she does have what I know from that fight is that she's very tough, which is probably how she won all her other fights.
No, she's an athlete. She's
very tough.
She definitely is tough, yeah.
Like she didn't stop fighting.
Yeah.
She didn't stop fighting. Like
that's more than I can say for a lot of 135ers.
So maybe she just has to do something different.
Well, I mean,
which we already talked about. I'm saying like David's I'm just to David's point. Like I think she might be champion too, but like as of right now, she's not going to go through Holly Holm. But if she trains up a little bit, who says that she can't be champion?
Yeah, we've seen major career turnarounds before, right? There's nothing to say that Irene Aldana, who clearly is a competent boxer, has some good technique with her hands, could potentially do that with a new camp and a new set of coaches that are actually teaching her tactics and strategy as opposed to just hitting mitts.
God, they suck.
Yeah. You need to go. What the hell is that? Go where? Go do what? You need to go. Oh, you're right. It's a fight. I'm supposed to be fighting. Thank you. Okay, I didn't know I needed to go. Now I'm going to go. Thank you. Thanks, bud. You know, this is why I pay you the big bucks.
Man. No, but look, okay, here's an immediate thing for Holly Holm. Her versus GDR, who was another woman who fought in the card, and we'll get to her.
Oh my God, that last fight between them though was molasses.
I know, but
the most interesting thing about that fight was the 2 fouls. And
then GDR going, "Hey, you want to fight Cyborg? I would, but my hand."
And she was also like, Cyborg has done the steroids, so I don't want to fight her. She sounds like a female Overeem. I don't want to fight her.
Well, they're both from the same land.
They're both from Holland, but she actually does sound like a female Overeem.
Yeah. GDR's a cop. She's a female cop. I mean, she's a female and a cop, but she's a cop.
Love how David awkwardly fumbled through that sentence. She's a female cop. You know, like a cop who's a female as well, you know. But
I'm just saying, you know, some of us don't mess with 12. And, you know, once you identify yourself as 12, you are 12. So, yeah, shouts out to GDR, I guess.
Well, yeah, no, but I think that's the match, though. Right?
David, you okay, man? You seem so defeated today. You're just like, yeah. Shouts out to Kamaru, I guess, you know. Man,
I'm just saying, why, Kamaru?
Shouts out to GDR.
Donald Trump doesn't care about you, Kamaru. Come on. You're better than that.
So let's run down this main card because you guys have anything to say about Yorgan De Castro versus Carlos Felipe?
I am so disappointed.
Yeah.
I am so disappointed.
What the best thing I can say about this shot is that Carlos Felipe was disciplined in working the body, which I appreciate. I don't like anyone that works the body. Good left hook upstairs, right cross to the body against the fence. But as far as Yorgan De Castro goes, it's like, man, got to get off the fence, big guy.
Yeah. All right, stall for a minute. I got to try something.
Stall for a minute? Why would I stall for a minute when we can talk about these beautiful fights? Are we moving on, guys? Yeah, we're moving on. Okay. Juliana Pena versus Germain Narendra. Who would have thought that Julia Pena is such a sloppy grappler?
Yeah, that's weird.
Time off. I maybe time off, maybe jitters. I'm willing to give her some, leeway. But Jesus, man, the transition at the end of the second round and a sloppy striker to boot. What the heck was that? She couldn't. She was paralyzed.
I mean,
she could not enter into range against GDR.
I mean,
GDR hit the same counter on her like 5 times in the first round.
But GDR is probably the best striker in the division, and that includes Amanda Nunes.
Sure. Yeah, I know. I agree.
So. Yeah, it's not like.
But listen, she could have used Irene Aldana's cornerman. You got to go, And it's true. She's sitting out in range, just throwing hands from a foot away from GDR. Like, if you want, she put it together in the later rounds where she's throwing punches at GDR and swarming her on the fence. But like, you can't just sit out there. I get it. It's terrifying. You've been popped by the same counter every time you throw a jab.
And GDR hits hard. Absurdly hard.
I hit very hard. It's the horse meat in Holland.
Dun, 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 dun.
So Stefano, let's add Holland to the list of countries Stefano cannot go to. based on his comments. So we got Ghana, wherever Joseph Pony's from. Now Holland. Let's keep it running down.
Welcome in Holland.
Okay, go for a second. Do your Holland accent. Do your best GDR.
I'm Germain Aldana. I feel like I was doing well throwing the right hand, but
why are you Irish?
You haven't seen the last.
Why are you Irish? That sounds like
I like horse meat. I like horse meat. It's delicious. Gives me plenty of good protein. It's completely
a Dutch leprechaun.
All right.
Bro, it sounds like Mrs. Dothfire, bro.
Mrs. Wait, hold on.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Dothfire.
Doubtfire, whatever.
Doubtfire.
The character that Robin Williams played. You guys know who I'm talking
It
about.
sounds like Mrs. Dothfire.
May the late Robin
What is she, a
Williams.
demon?
But your Holland accent sounds like an old lady, is what I'm trying to
I
say.
am
Like,
Mrs. Dothfire.
it sounds like an old lady. I don't know.
I'd bring you sulfur and brimstone.
All right. Okay. No. But seriously, GDR. You know what? Here's the thing. Like, if God, it's hard to take this seriously sometimes with you guys. But I gotta say this. When I saw the Amanda Nunes fight, I was very disappointed in her grappling, and maybe we gotta give Amanda Nunes some credit because GDR's grappling looked good.
I wouldn't go that far.
You wouldn't?
No, I would say that it was enough to beat Juliana Pena on that night.
Okay. Fair enough.
But for me, repeatedly getting taken down and
That's the problem.
held
right?
inside. Yeah. The guillotine was nice. I'll give her that. It was a nice
High elbow.
high elbow guillotine with the McKenzie grip, right? You know, like Cody McKenzie did. That was nice. But man, well, disappointed in Juliana Pena, who I viewed as like a very legitimate contender before. Hopefully, it's just some octagon jitters after returning from, God knows how long.
Yeah. That injuries and stuff, and also
And giving birth. She had
and
baby.
giving birth, and giving birth,
And COVID.
and COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also say I had the same kind of view on Irene Aldana. Now I thought Holm was going to win against Irene Aldana, but I thought Irene Aldana was going to make it competitive, and it goes to show you that look, I made a video like last week about. And someone came with the hot take that Ronda Rousey could still do very well. And at first I was like, there's a lot of girls who are going to give her adversity, and that's her big issue, right? She can't really battle adversity. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? If Holly Holm at 38, who's definitely taken a decline, is still, piecing some people up, who's to say a motivated Ronda Rousey couldn't do well?
Let's move on. No,
hold on.
What?
Bigger context in it. It's not just Ronda Rousey. Let me explain. All right. The bigger context I'm trying to explain here, though, is at what point do we start? Like, we've already talked about 145, right? Being the
Make-believe division in the UFC, yeah.
At what point do
I'll
we
say
talk
it if you won't.
At what point do we talk about 135 and the struggles with every woman not named GDR, Nunes, and Holm?
You know what, though? I think what's different about 135 is that it's at a bit of a low point right now, and there's some contenders, that show some promise, like your Caitlin Vieira's, right? Like your Irene Aldana's. And we've seen 135 be a very deep division before. Back when Rousey was in it, we had a list of contenders who have unfortunately just gotten older. There was Kat Zingano, we had Armisha Tate's, Ronda Rousey's, Holmes, Nunes. This was a deep division, man.
Rocky was still Rocky.
Rocky was Rocky. So I think it might be one of those things where certain divisions go through life cycles, right? Remember men's light heavyweight. Men's light heavyweight used to be the deepest division in the world until John Jones nuked it. And then for a while it was kind of not the greatest division. And now it's exciting again. So I think 135 is not destined for failure. I think it's just in a lull.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on.
Let's move
to see the Ronda Rousey show again. That I think, and I think it would be great if we. Yeah, no matter takes, but come on, man. Do we really want to see that again? Come on.
No, I'm not saying. What I was trying to explain though is that 135. There was a point where 135, even with the 115s, there was a premier division in the women's UFC.
I think it could be again.
It's 115, but it's 115 by a country mile. That's what I'm trying to explain, and I'm kind of concerned, right? We talked about all these women evolving. That was the whole story, right? All these women have evolved, and it's like, truth is, maybe not as much as we thought. Maybe there's just a couple women who, are really, really good, and the rest are just not at that level just yet.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see with the Contender Series. I think is really good for scouting prospects. So maybe it'll be able to inject some new life into this division. I knew they found some very good heavyweights, which is typically a very thin division in the UFC.
That was going to be my question. Has the Contender Series been picking up women? Because
Macy Barber, I think, was on the Contender Series.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been I've seen some women's fights in the contenders, and I've seen some interesting prospects there.
Yeah.
I guess moving along. One I really wanted to talk about very quickly is the Daquan Townsend versus Dusko Todorovic fight.
I'm all in on Dusko.
Me too.
I am all in.
Ooh,
all in.
I have been waiting for a nice active clinch striker to come along and he's so active in the clinch. I love it. Just gets a little bit of room. Bam, he enters in off of that left hook, that long left hook. He cracked Townsend twice with the same left hook in the row.
You know what I like about him though? He's got the full. But Townsend really looked bad in this fight.
Oh, he looked bad.
Yeah, he didn't get off the breaks. But and I think it's just because look, this is a guy who beat Michel Pereira inside the round. Dusko Todorovic.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
in
inside
the UFC?
a round, not in the UFC, but in another promotion.
That's
at 180,
scary.
he beat him inside a round. Right. So this is a guy who can bang. All right. And the reason why he did is because he played Michel Pereira's game of range fighting and beat him to the punch and was faster, which is saying a lot, right? This guy, the reason why I like him is he's got the full package already at such a young age. Now, God knows what happens when he moves up the ranks and then all of a sudden he runs into Khamzat Chimaev or whatever. You never know.
I love how Khamzat's the established defender of the division. The guy with 3 fights in the UFC.
It's weird. No, but my point is that he could run into Marvin Vettori or somebody.
Forza.
And this isn't a conversation. But, he's already got the gas tank. He's an athlete. He can fight in range. He's great in the clinch. His ground game looked
superb.
Townsend did not have a prayer, right? And this is a guy who was, again...
Townsend's a stiff test for a lot of people.
Yeah, so he looked... he looked bad. He looked bad.
Dusko didn't let him get off at all. And I think a couple tendencies that I think... Just a couple questions I have for Dusko that I'd like to see answered. One tendency that I think will get him in trouble, it seems like every shot that's thrown at him, he leans back. Even jabs, he'll lean back at the waist, which, it's a legitimate style of defense, but you can't be doing that to every punch, especially a jab, because then you'll have people just flick out the first jab as a fake, and then they're on top of you.
But that's how Darren Till was running into trouble in that two fight losing streak, where he had that one note defense. Right, Dustin Poirier is another example where it's like one note defense is not going to get the biscuit in the basket. You need to mix up just like you mix up how to strike somebody, you need to mix up how you defend strikes as well.
Exactly, yeah. And offense is its own defense, but eventually you're going to get put in the defensive, and we got to see what answers you have. The other thing, and this is not so much a concern as just a question, I'd like to see. I don't know what his grappling credentials are, but I'd like to see how they fare, because if you have. In MMA, if you're that kind of a pressure fighter who fights in the clinch, you better be able to wrestle your ass off. That's for sure.
How they fare against who?
Against strong wrestling competition.
Okay.
Because
it seemed like you're going to finish, so how they fare against this person. Go ahead.
No, that's why I said Khamzat. That's why I said Khamzat, because
it's like the whole thing with Tyron Woodley. Like, he's an elite level wrestler. If you pressure him to the cage, which is where you often find him, you better be ready to defend a double leg, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just a question. He may be an excellent wrestler. I'm really not sure.
What division is this? I didn't watch this fight. Sorry.
Middleweight.
Okay.
Middleweight.
Khamzat Chimaev is middleweight?
Well,
both middleweight 170.
Yeah, I was about to say. Well,
guys, don't kill me. I might have to.
All right, cool. Let's move it along here. Oh, I think this is basically all the main card fights.
Yeah, there was one more. If you guys want to comment on it real quick,
because I want to talk Condit versus McGee, but
Condit Phillips versus Cameron Else.
Yeah, I actually watched the undercard, which is pretty funny.
This is why you fell asleep.
Guys, I'm sorry. I love you all. I actually have to.
All right. Don't worry. We'll talk basketball in your stead.
Hey, in this crazy messed up world where Stefano leaves the podcast early every once in a while
because he came insanely late.
You have 3 things. You've got Michael, you've got Jeremy, and you've got David. And you know what? Sometimes that's enough. Peace out, everybody.
For those who don't know, theater of the mind, he gave Jeremy props, he gave me props, and then he gave
David's an AI anyways.
All right, let's see. I just quickly wanted to talk Court McGee versus Carlos Condit, though. Unless you want to talk Cameron Phillips else.
No, actually, my comment was going to be on the Canadian Jordan versus Culibao. But yeah, sorry, go on. You can go.
No,
first.
no, I was okay. Yeah, no, Cameron Phillips looked good. Ground control looked good. His control looked good. I would love to see what he does against a grappler. Yada. But two things. One, Court McGee and Carlos Condit. When Carlos Condit wins, we all win. I really liked him when he was the natural born killer. Well, he still is the natural born killer, but I really enjoyed seeing him in his heyday, and it was kind of sad when he was in the wilderness for a while. So for him to finally get a win, is really good. So when he wins, we all win. It's like Roxanne Modafferi, except
Sure. Yeah, I like it, man.
Wins, we all win. That's all I'm saying.
He looks super, like, I really like his style. He looks like kind of like a dream kickboxer, if that makes any sense. Like, super light on his feet. Like, it was really fun to watch him, and kind of like a throwback fight. My one question is, like, who is the guy he fought? Because I'm not familiar.
Court McGee. He fought in the Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Carl, and he also had funny you mentioned that. He did bring some new wrinkles in his game, which really did help him out, because it looked like he was kind of doing the same thing for a while, and people were starting to figure him out, and then he came out with just line his feet, more of a sideways stance, a lot more of a feinter now.
Yeah, man, he looked. I don't know. I have to go back and watch his old fights, and maybe I'm misremembering, but he looked really fun out there. Like, he looked like both like a veteran and both like super light on his feet. I don't want to. I can't really go into the technique as much as like you guys, but I don't know. It was really interesting to watch his style versus the rest of the card, because he definitely stood out for me.
Yeah. But yeah, and okay, round the room with Jordan versus Culibao. Do we really think that was a draw?
No.
No, Jordan definitely won that fight.
Yeah. I believe.
Which Jordan is saying a lot, because he got knocked down in the first round, but
Jordan's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's probably why it was a draw, because of like the 10-8 round in the first, and then 2 10-9s. I could see.
I can concede and say that he lost the first round.
But was it 10-8 though? Was that 10-8?
It was the 10-8 in the sense that, it was a competitive fight till he got knocked down. Competitive round. But I would say, like, if you want to be like specific with the rules or technical with the rules, I think like a knockdown makes it pretty much a 10-8 round. So I don't know. I could see why it's a split draw, but I also thought like he won that fight. I don't think he got any 10-8 rounds for himself, but for that first round, I could see like how that was a 10-8. So.
Man, that's a hell of a liberal 10-8 though. Like, I'm just saying, it's look in the UFC. One knockdown is not like I get it if it's a Muay Thai contest where it's like it takes you're in large gloves. Getting knocked down is not as much of a occurrence. So it's like, okay, a knockdown is legitimately a 10-8, but in the UFC, a knockdown is not really at least that's
it was
the way
a pretty clean knockdown, though. It wasn't like a flash knockdown. It was a pretty clean one, though. Like, he got him.
Fair.
Yeah, but not that changes anything. But like, I don't know. It could have gone either way, honestly. But shouts out to the other guy, though. His build was weird for a fighter. You can tell he's tough because, like, I feel like Jordan was actually having a little bit of trouble in that first round with him, especially with like his range and how like wiry and long he was. But do you remember how like he was built? Like he was not like the most athletic guy.
He was lanky, hella lanky. But it's weird because 45ers are starting to there's a lot of 45ers who look bigger than the 55ers right now.
Jaleel Turner, man. That's why he's the same guy who fought Jaleel Turner, which is ridiculous. Who's like what, 6'2" or something, and 145? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. And then you got Korean Zombie and Brian Ortega, who are both like over 6 feet respectively. It's insane. These guys are huge. And Max Holloway, 5'11", 145.
Brian Ortega's over 6 foot. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, Brian Ortega's 6'1".
That's not true. Is it? I gotta look that up. I think it's like 5'10".
Hold on. Look, you look up David. David, our resident researcher, but he's 6'1". He's 6'1". He was taller than Max Holloway by like a considerable margin, and Max Holloway's touching 6 feet, like just about.
Brian Ortega was not taller than Max Holloway. What are you talking about?
Yes, he was.
Was he? I gotta
Yes,
go
he
back and look at that fight, man. I don't remember that. But fair enough. Anyway, is there any other fights you wanted to talk about on this card? Man, he's 5'8".
No, he's not.
Brian Ortega?
Brian Ortega is not 5'8".
He's 5'8".
Dude, for some reason, your camera keeps getting like larger and smaller on our stream, and I don't care. I'm all for it. But yeah, he's 5'8". No way. He was. You guys had to see him versus Max Holloway. He was huge.
He's not taller than Max Holloway. I remember that fight. Max was way taller than him. That was a problem.
He was not way taller than Brian Ortega. Are you kidding me?
Okay, he wasn't way taller, but he definitely was taller, noticeably taller.
Yeah, he was noticeably taller than. Oh, are you talking about Max Holloway was taller than Ortega?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Yair Rodriguez too is a tall guy too, but no. Anyway, my point is these guys are looking huge. I'm all talked about the fights. Do we want to talk some basketball because it looks like the Lakers are going to win again?
Yep.
Yeah,
that is correct. And the MVP. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say another chip for LeBron, another MVP for LeBron.
I'm giving the MVP to AD.
Pardon?
I'm giving the MVP to AD.
There's no way they're giving it to AD.
I'm not saying they're going to, but I'm saying I would. I think there's a chance they're going to because the offense doesn't go without AD.
Well,
yes, it does. What?
Yes, it does. Like if you look at the numbers, LeBron, it's just been. Like I think there was some stupid
numbers.
Like I think there was some stupid stat like LeBron's like usage rate is like in the playoffs right now is 29% or some.
Fine, maybe I'm getting this offense doesn't go confused with their main scorer. Fine, AD is definitely their main scorer though.
Yeah. No, of course.
He's definitely the number one option, but
sorry guys.
No, I was gonna say he's the number one scoring option, but LeBron is definitely like, the MVP of that team. Like it's pretty clear.
Because I feel like you're saying that because he's the leader, though.
No. Like the ball goes to his hand first. Like he decides like what they're gonna do on pretty much each possession. Like, come on. Like that's sometimes he's like, okay, I'm gonna give the ball to AD so he can get his stuff off. But most of the time, like he's the one like dictating the way the like game goes. So. I don't know. I think it'd be tough to give it to anybody but LeBron.
But it's like if AD wasn't on this team, they're not even in the. They're not even. They don't even beat. I feel they don't even beat the Nuggets.
Well, we saw what happens when AD's not on this team.
Exactly when AD like during the playoffs when AD wasn't playing well, the team lost.
Well, I think the problem is that, like, okay, look, if you take here's the thing. If you take LeBron out,
right,
and you put him with, man, it's hard.
If you take LeBron out, this is just a team of big guys.
Honestly, that's what I was trying to explain. If you take
LeBron out, what's the difference between like a LeBron-less Lakers and like the Pelicans?
That's what I'm trying to explain. Because I want
like the 76ers. Remember? 76ers. No, but remember when the 76ers first drafted Embiid and they had like Nerlens Noel, what's that other guy, like the Nigerian dude, Jahlil Okafor as well. Like they had like three big, even like how many teams do it? They have like 3 or 4 top big guys, but at the end of the day, there's really
I'm not even trying to disrespect King James because everyone knows that whatever team you put King James on, they automatically become a finals contender. I'm not saying that he's not, and I'm not saying that he's not just as deserving as Anthony Davis, but all I'm saying is that Anthony Davis is, how we always talk about the reason why the Raptors can't beat so-and-so is because they don't have a guy who can go get you a bucket. Yeah, LeBron can do that, but he's not in that role. The role of the person to, win the games, in my opinion, is Anthony Davis. Like when they need a final shot, who does the ball go to? AD.
It goes to LeBron, who passes it to AD.
Well, what I'm trying to say.
So it still goes to AD, David. Like
hold on. But what I'm trying to explain though is if you take LeBron off this team and replace it with another All-Star, there may be a second round exit. But you take out AD and you put him with Joel Embiid, this is still a championship caliber team.
Okay, but
yeah,
let me
for sure. In fact, now that you said that, here's another comparison. I love random, terrible sports comparison. A LeBron-less, a LeBron. Even if you swap LeBron for, let's say, who's a good All-Star, similar All-Star. Not Giannis, because that's a bit too much, but what's the guy of the other guy of the Bucks? Middleton. Or even a Damian Lillard. Let's say a Damian Lillard. Are they any better than like the Thunder were when you had Durant and Westbrook? Like I feel like
have you seen how Rajon Rondo's playing?
He's balling out of his mind.
Okay, so I'm saying like let's say I'm not saying
I'm like I don't know how to deal. Like, yeah, he's balling, but he's also like hates gays. So I don't know. Like,
wait, what? Oh, okay. Wait, Rajon Rondo. Okay, I don't even want it.
Larry, don't you remember that thing when he
I don't even want to
where,
get into that.
where he was like making fun of the ref? That was like a couple of years ago. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Rajon Rondo probably loves gay people. I'm joking. Sorry, go on.
All right.
No,
I definitely want to hear. I definitely want to hear about this later. So we'll do that.
No, because there was a video where he called the rep some unsavory words.
Yeah,
that had to relate to homosexuality.
And I think he got suspended, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was pretty hefty actually.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It's funny what is a big deal.
Dude, there was crazy. A lot of guys say the F word because you know what? For like.
In America, it's still thrown around very loosely.
Candy. It's like candy.
It's still thrown
around. Not okay, guys. It's not okay. Think of the
No, I know it's not okay.
No, not for you. I'm just saying, like, for them. Just come on, guys. We're better than that.
Oh yeah, no, it's still thrown around very loosely. You just don't see it.
Yeah, no, because you have to keep in mind. I always say this, and I say this to younger kids, is that when I was in high school, it wasn't necessarily a taboo word yet. It only became taboo when I was in university, which is weird.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that people didn't find it offensive, right? I'm not saying that people were definitely not on the train of saying, like, don't ever say that word. But what I'm saying, though, is it was being thrown around in meetings. It was being thrown around. It was a thrown around word.
Yeah, right? No, I don't want to be. I don't think it was like necessarily like a time thing. I think it's always been offensive. I just think once you read a book and you're around people who've experienced stuff, specifically people who might be of other sexual orientations, you just understand like that stuff's not cool.
It's just not okay.
I wanted to get back to just going back. Sorry, go on.
No, I would agree, but I was just gonna say get back onto topic, which I think is what you were about to do. So I'll let you go.
No, I was gonna say, man, I think this all of this shows is how crazy good LeBron is, and also how crazy stacked that Golden State team had to be in order to beat LeBron. Think about it. Like, we're talking historic great. Like, the only thing separating LeBron, the only difference between LeBron and Jordan. Oh, wow. You know what? Let me take that take back because we're being recorded. But my non-recorded take is that, man, think about the historic teams that LeBron has gone up against.
Are we going to get into a Bron versus Jordan debate?
No, we're not doing Jordan. No, it's not versus. It's not a versus.
I've been waiting on this one.
Versus. I'm just saying. LeBron only loses to historic teams. Apart from maybe the Mavs, you could argue. But he only loses to historic teams. So, yeah, man. Shouts out to LeBron, man.
The Mavs with Dirk Nowitzki, literally, they literally changed LeBron's outlook on basketball.
You know what? They could be even argue that they were historic teams because they were pretty good.
Dude, people don't give that team enough credit, and the run Dirk. I always say this: Dirk Nowitzki was probably on the best playoff run I've ever seen, and that includes Jordan. That includes Magic.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm serious.
Are you sure you don't want to take that take back?
No,
put it in my box of bad takes?
No. 2011 Dirk Nowitzki in the playoffs did some insane thing. Look at his numbers. and he had some of the best. Everyone talks about Kawhi Leonard's playoff run, right? And it was great. You know what I'm saying? There's no discussion here. It was a championship. There was parties in the street, right? But you take a look at Dirk Nowitzki's playoff run, and it's one of the more underappreciated and underrated playoff runs I have ever heard. No one talks about it. This guy, he swept the Lakers, right, on their way to a three-peat. Then he goes and beats, I believe, the Thunder. No, he beats somebody. He beats somebody. But he beats the Thunder in 5 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then beats the Heat in 5 games. And I think he had a 30-point 50-40-90 run in the playoffs, right? And yeah, Tyson Chandler did his thing on defense. Yeah, Jason Kidd was timely with
Come on, we know what's up. We all know what's up.
But he was so good in 2011. It's so underappreciated and not talked about. It's one of the best playoff runs I've ever seen. I don't care. And I'm not taking.
I think a lot of people appreciate Dirk Nowitzki, man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's gone down pretty much exactly at how he should have gone down.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I'm just saying that 2011 playoff run, though.
Yeah, that was crazy. But even like LeBron, just going back to the topic, like just think how good of a team you have to be. Like Jimmy Butler is balling. He are a good team, but it doesn't matter because you don't have the best player in the world.
LeBron is the best player in the world, and like the best player in our era. The reason why I go with AD is because like I just thought about this. Like remember when Shaq won MVP with the Lakers back in 2000 and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. In the early 2000s, I don't know like too much. That was more Michael's era, but like Shaq didn't do much but get the ball from Kobe, right? And he was like, and if you look at how the Lakers have beat the Trailblazers, was it Rockets?
Hold on, though.
No, the Trailblazers, the Rockets, and the Nuggets. If you see like how they do it, it's because they have the paint secured, and that's
I gotta stop you.
AD has dominated everybody that he's gone against.
Okay, hold on. Let me just say this: AD is dominant, especially on defense. I think he's an underrated defensive player. I'm not sure if he's the defensive player of the year,
side of the ball, but also the offensive side of the ball.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like he's dominating these guys in the paint too, and isn't that that won Shaq the MVP?
No, man, Shaq was a different force. Like that's totally not even comparable. And
listen, you have to understand, Shaq. As soon as
I'm just speaking about from a criteria standpoint, though.
No, but like Shaq was such an automatic basket when Shaq got the ball. It was when they lost.
But I'm just speaking.
Yeah, when they lost to the Pistons, it was a shock because and no one saw that coming. No one, right? Shaq. Listen, when Shaq was going, it was. It's hard.
So it sounds like what you guys are saying is LeBron to be the most valuable player on this team. Can David hear us?
No, I think David's reset. David, when you can come back to us when you're ready.
But I think what I'm saying is that like it looks like you guys are saying because LeBron's leadership and I guess that's what I'm getting from it is his leadership is more valuable than AD's points because AD has the points.
No, AD has the point. Like,
and AD has the dominance.
I'm not saying it's not a conversation. Of course, it's a conversation. I'm not saying.
But you're saying his leadership is more valuable than AD's points.
It's the assists. It's the rebounds. It's the
points, the rebounds, and the assists, and the leadership.
Right. He has 6 more assists. So that means he's contributing to literally 8 to 10 more points, depending on how you think about it. He's got almost as many rebounds. He's like 1 off last time I checked. And yeah, he's the leader. And his usage rate, meaning the LeBron is involved into a scoring play in an almost absurd amount of the time. Like they say that you can't win with a usage rate if one player has a usage rate of 28 or more. Like it's like a rule in basketball. LeBron's is at like 29 right now. I could be wrong, but it's at somewhere like 29.6.
Okay.
Right? It's LeBron.
Okay.
But it's not.
I got nothing else for you. I've given you everything.
No.
I love how we're not even talking about the Heat, though.
Yeah.
I love.
I mean, shouts out to them for getting this far, but I have a feeling like if it was the Celtics, it would have been the same thing. If it's the Raptors, that would have been even more depressing. So I'm happy it's the Heat.
Bro,
and
that
not
was the same
Raptors.
thing. Like, bro, imagine if this was the Raptors, bro.
Oh man, I don't know if I would be able to take it. LeBron dominated the Raptors again. No, thank you.
I mean, we already got our championship. Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I got
No.
a ring. I got a ring at home.
Here, we're
Yeah,
good.
we'll always have that. We'll always have that championship for sure.
Yeah, the only kind of thing that, for me that makes the Lakers story kind of interesting is all the bigs with McGee and Dwight Howard finally getting that chip. I guess McGee already has a chip with the Warriors.
The Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, but Dwight Howard, happy for him. I guess weird dude, but he does deserve a ring. He's a not only I was gonna say he's an all-star, but no, he's a Hall of Fame player for sure. So yeah. But yeah, I know people love our terrible basketball takes. I love them.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, was that 20 minutes of terrible basketball takes?
Yeah, okay. Now on to I have an ask question and a story time. But you know, do you guys want to answer some questions?
Yeah, let's do some questions.
Let's go.
All right. So the one that I've been trying to get to this for the last 4 weeks. I even forget who asked it, but we got a Leon Edwards fan here. Someone really likes Leon Edwards. You know, why wouldn't you? He's on a hell of a run right now. I think it's 8 straight right now. Could be 7. But they asked, what would have to happen in order for Leon Edwards to get a title shot / big money fight?
I think he would have to get like a huge knockout against like a big name. That would help, but it would help if a big name fought him, which I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if anybody wants to do that. If he fought in front of a big crowd in like London, I think that would also help because once you have like the UK backing you, they usually can propel you a little bit further. But honestly, I don't know. What I will say is that there's a lot of good guys coming out of England, so he better get that shot now because you know the division doesn't really wait for anyone, and soon there's going to be somebody who's just as good as him, who's a little bit more exciting and can talk to the camera, and they're going to get that shot, and he's not, right? So, yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing is that like it's weird because if you hear Leon Edwards talk, he's not necessarily like unlistenable on the mic. He's not a terrible.
Nah, he's a cool guy, man, and
Yeah.
I feel like he also gets a bad rap because he's not like a bombastic guy. And
But see, and this is where like we get into the racism discussion because it's like if you're not bombastic as a black guy, then you're boring. But if you're bombastic, then you're stereotypical black guy that every white guy likes, right? That one.
you know, the funny part is that Usman used to be considered boring, but now that he's a champion, it's almost like that's not even being like that's not a thing at all. And then you get Tyron Woodley who says something, and then everybody criticizes Tyron Woodley for being a complaining champion or having like a victim complex or whatever. But so yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. But I do think like some guys could do a little bit more with like promoting themselves. I feel.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I think for me, what it is with Leon Edwards is like this almost seems kind of counterproductive, but he should honestly just fight more guys below him, right? I know it sounds stupid, but if he keeps on fighting, like I'm not saying Cowboy Cerrone, schedule, no. But what I am saying though is this is a guy who hasn't fought in a year, right? If he fought the number 7. If he fought the number 8, what I'm saying, and prove to them, like, if he fought, let's say he stopped Gilbert Burns dead, right? Then who's to say that he doesn't go and get a guy after that, right? I know that the Tyron Woodley shot was supposed to be his.
Yeah, man. I don't know if Gilbert Burns is gonna get it done. I think like a Tyron Woodley would have like done something like in terms of name recognitions, but I don't know if Gilbert Burns is like the name that's gonna push him closer to that title fight. And that's a problem in a way because if he goes and just like starches somebody who's ranked much lower than him, that's not gonna do much. He was winning. Let's not forget, he's on a win streak already. He was ranked higher than Masvidal, and then all of a sudden, 8 months later, Masvidal is getting the title shot, and he's sat at home saying, "I'm going to fight the loser of the guy who was champion when I had like next up." Basically, like, come on, man.
But the issue is that like what I think honestly, this is why I talk about where one action can determine everything. He did get punked against not against, but when Jorge Masvidal came up to him with a three-piece running away. I know. It's not fair, but it's life. That's how people look at it, and that's because all of a sudden Masvidal's looked at this cool gangster type kind of guy, when in reality that's not the case. He's just a guy. He's just a fighter.
Who just like socked somebody, and like now we're just like, oh, street Jesus. Don't get me wrong.
I know, but that's the way people are. That's the way people are.
Again, but whatever. It's just, whatever. It's weird, some of the stuff that MMA fans like. It's just weird.
It's insane. It's insane. Look. As much as people talk about the Bus Dolly incident being a bad thing for MMA fans didn't like it. Come on. Right?
The problem is it's people like me who are young wrestling fans who've now grown up. We watch the WWE all our lives, and we want to see the same, only this time the stakes are real. And we want to see people really bleed, not fake. Anyway, we have a separate podcast that we need to do about how did wrestlers make themselves bleed? Is that sanitary? And how are they doing that during COVID?
I can tell you how they do it. I've seen it.
It's a razor.
Yeah, not just a razor, but they'll do it. There's two types of ways. There's blading, so like razor or whatever, or there's the hard way, where they get a guy to literally do something that's a slashing effect. So elbow,
Yeah, but you don't really want to get an elbow to your head.
But they'll do it, though. They'll do it.
I don't know, man. I can see but even then, like, that just seems so risky and unsanitary and a bad idea during COVID. So I'm wondering what that's like right now, but I'm not wrestling, so who knows? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I guess around the room, we've already kind of said what Leon Edwards needs to do. I guess, fight more.
Fight a big name, which is easier said than done. And it's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
At the end of the day,
a lot of things that you're supposed to do, he's already kind of done.
Yeah.
I would say, having a vlog, like I Am the Bay with Cormier, Rockhold, Habib, Islam, that got a lot of guys some exposure. So having a vlog doesn't hurt either. But, like, it's weird because we're talking about things that don't have nothing to do with fighting, affecting fighting.
What he needs to do is he needs to come on the leg kick, and we can give him the interview that's going to change the game. All the other guys are just doing all these frou-frou interviews, not really getting into the meat and potatoes. We're going to get into the actual stuff that matters, such as what's it like growing up in Birmingham? No, we're going to have much better questions than that, but I do agree with you that he could do well with like a vlog or maybe even like what's that thing, Anatomy of the Fighter, something that kind of gives a little bit more insight to his personality. Yeah, because I'm sure he's an interesting dude. I mean, why not?
Or at the very least has interesting aspects about him.
For sure.
All right, moving on to story time. Do you guys want to know how I made a lot of money betting on a Holly Holm fight? I think
no.
Come on.
Sure, go for it.
No, okay, fine. You guys don't want to hear it, fine. No, I want to tell you.
No, tell your story about your bet with your friends.
Man, it was great. Okay, listen. So Ronda Rousey's on top of the world, right? The only reason why I tell this story is because Holly Holm fought recently, and Holly Holm will always have a special place in my heart for making me an obscene amount of money. But so Ronda Rousey's on top of the world, right? She's killing every girl left, right, and center. She's gonna sell out some stadium in Australia. I don't know. Who cares?
Maybe it's a Marvel Stadium, or maybe not. Actually, I don't know.
It might have been. It was a stadium that it sells 60,000. And she sold it out. right? Big stadium, huge. And I think Ronda Rousey was a 5-1 favorite. Could have been more, actually. She was an insane favorite. Insane. It was insane. Number was insane. And she's facing Holly Holm, who at this point, her biggest win was Raquel Pennington. So, I'm taking a look at some of the day interviews, taking a look at some of the pad work they're doing. Edmund goes on TV and says, I hope Holly Holm boxes with us because Ronda Rousey KOs world champions in sparring. Rousey, is a fiend on her feet. She can box. Ronda can box, and he's scared for Holly Holm. And all my friends, and in fairness, she was knocking out girls like Betch Correa and whatever. So all my friends and the betting lines had Ronda up. Some had her up by KO. I should have took that. But some people had her winning by KO. But whatever. And so me and my friends get into an argument, and I said to them, if Ronda keeps it on the feet, she's screwed. She is screwed. They come to me and say, bro, do you see what she did to that last BITCH? She's got this, right? And I'm like, no. Listen, you don't understand. Holly Holm is a credentialed world champion boxer.
I was going to say, I believe it's pronounced Betch, but go on.
Yeah, you say biatch.
No. Her name is Betch Correa. That's the joke.
Oh, okay, I'm tripping.
But that joke tickles me now, man. It's like, but yeah, no. So I'm like, listen, they take her to the ground. If Ronda Rousey takes her to the ground, sure, yeah, she wins. But if Holly and her stay on the feet, Holly's going to murder her, right? And they go, no, bro. So I was like, all right, you give me 500. You give me 500. I will give you 1,000 if Ronda wins, right? I was so confident. At this point, I don't know yet if Ronda Rousey's going to go to the ground. For all I know, they could have been training this down just to trick Holly Holm, and then she hits her with a judo throw and then taps her out in 30 seconds. But I was so confident Ronda thought she was going to strike with Holly Holm. It was insane. So I'm like, okay, these guys are giving me $1,000. I'm going to put a bet on, an unnamed gambling site because they don't sponsor us, and put in a Elman's bet of $100 for this specific fight. I had Holly Holm winning. I didn't put how or should, but I think the KO thing was plus 700. So if I put money on it, I should have. But anyway, so I put money on that. My friends were going to give me 500 each. Opening fight comes out. Ronda comes out in the boxing stats. I'm like, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. And the rest is history. Holly Holm knocks her out in the second round. Best part about that was Edmund not tell, Ronda, you should probably go to the ground now. Like, you should try to initiate some grappling. No. You're doing fine, Ronda. You're doing fine. Just keep going. Keep boxing.
You know what? This fight actually did remind me of the Ronda Rousey fight. It didn't remind me of it, but it made me think of it. And something that I thought about was that if you guys are the casual mixed martial artist fan and you listen to this show, there's a lot of favoritism towards grapplers, jiu-jitsu specialists, yada, yada, yada. But I think one thing you guys need to realize, because you might have got the impression that, if you don't really know too much striking, you can be taught it and yada, yada, yada. If you are going up against a seasoned striker, ergo Israel Adesanya, ergo Holly Holm, if you're going up against a seasoned striker and you don't know how to at least defend yourself, let alone land punches, you're just as much in danger if you don't know how to grapple in the cage. Just so you know, like, that actually made me think of it. Like, Holly Holm, like, not real so much this fight, but the Ronda Rousey fight, Holly Holm can pick you apart and break you down and essentially beat you up in the cage in the sport of mixed martial arts if you don't know how to defend yourself against strikes. Like, yeah, you could be a great judo competitor, Olympic champion like Ronda Rousey, but if you don't know how to hang with her in striking, you try to strike, you're just as much in danger.
Yeah, it was more an indictment on her game plan, to be honest. Like, I still think if she just, swallowed her pride and tried to get a hip toss going, it could have been a different.
Yeah, but it just made me think of fighters like Israel Adesanya and
like
who use distance, which is more striking than it is grappling. But it is grappling defense. But like I'm saying, like Israel Adesanya, like even if you try and grapple with him, he has the height advantage over most of his competitors, so that's different. But still, though, Holly Holmes, I
hear you.
Did her thing.
I hear
you apart. So
yeah, I hear you.
I think you're just as much in danger. Like I don't care.
Yeah, this just in. Holly Holmes can box. So when
David,
I was gonna say, don't try to outbox Holly Holm because you're gonna have a long night. She's probably one of the best female boxers in the world.
Dude, I was so floored by how many people legit thought Ronda was gonna come in there
and knock her out.
And knock her out. I was like, what are we talking about here? And like smart university students. I'm like, guys, you have a world champion boxer and world champion kickboxer in there. All right, who knows how to box? If the fight stays on the feet,
yeah.
What do you think is gonna happen?
Crazy. Okay, all right. Want to take us home?
Yeah.
Or do we have any more questions?
No, that was it.
Okay.
Let's see.
R.I.P. Breonna Taylor.
R.I.P. Breonna Taylor.
You got the justice system doesn't work, but it's never going to change until black people own guns.
What? No. Okay, wait. We already said that Michael was Dr. Umar. You can be Dr. Umar also, Jeremy. Damn. Oh, man. Okay. Anything else to cover?
Because you need to change your DA who will actually bring justice to your community.
Jeremy,
for all my brothers and sisters in the States. And, yeah.
You lived there for a while.
I did it. Guys, I used to live in the States for 4 years of my formative years. So that's why you might hear a little bit of a twang. But I'm still Canadian through and through.
We don't hear a twang.
Good.
No, we don't hear a twang.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? When I'm talking to when I pick up the phone with my boys, I kind of get a little Tory Lanez on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god! So you shoot women in the foot, or
no. I just accent the American accent a little bit.
Okay.
Whoa!
Was it you guys who were saying that? Listen to Tory Lanez? Like, no, it wasn't you. It was you guys. Okay, no, that's
what.
Stop
it. I said it.
Let's close the pod. Let's end the pod.
Listen, man. I said nothing of the sort. Okay. Listen, that was a week ago. I've grown a lot since then. All right.
Hilarious.
I'm gonna take the show home. Is that okay, guys? Is that okay? All right. In this crazy mixed up world where Tory Lanez shoots people in the foot.
God damn. Goodness dang it.
We don't know yet, case still ongoing. Allegedly. Just remember, you got three things. You got life, you got family, and this podcast. Stay safe, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.